Hey friends, welcome back. This is the exact particular program from the previous lecture, and in this particular program we were injecting a particular bean as a constructor argument that do automatically, and Spring was doing it for us because we have auto wired the constructor. Now there might be a question in your mind that how come Spring identify that too perfectly that it needs to inject this particular bean inside this particular bean, right? So there is a genuine question, and the reason why Spring can identify and can do this perfectly, perfect auto wiring, the reason is there is no such ambiguity. Now if I check this bikeinsurance.java, we need to inject a particular bean who give us a offer object, and the type of offer object is offers, right? And now if I check this beans.xml, there is only one bean which will give you a object of offers type, and definitely the bean is this particular bean. This is the reason there is no ambiguity, and Spring easily can inject this particular bean into this particular bean without any ambiguous decision, and everything works perfectly. Now suppose there are multiple beans who are providing offers object. Now what would be the outcome? For doing so, I will copy this particular bean from here and I will paste it in here again, and I will update the ID so that we can identify. I will give the ID as offers 2 and I will give this particular ID as offers 1. Alright, and now if I execute this particular program, alright, I need to highlight this offers.java file. I will right click and run this particular file. Oops, again I made a mistake. Alright, we need to run the application. So if I again execute this particular bean, now imagine that in here we have multiple beans who are providing offers object. As a result, there is a error, and this say no unique bean definition exception. So there is an exception, as there is no unique bean which can be used as a bean to inject in this particular bean. So this is an ambiguity, and how to fix this particular issue, right? So we will now check how to fix this particular issue. Now in order to get rid of this particular ambiguity, we can do one thing. We will now navigate to this beans tab and highlight this offers 2. Now if I check these options, out of these options we have this AutoWire candidate option, and in this particular drop down we can make it as false. What does this mean? This means that we are telling Spring that this particular bean is not eligible for auto wiring and never auto wire this particular bean. If we mark this bean as ineligible for auto wire, definitely then the ambiguity is not there, right? And now if I execute this particular program, this will work perfectly. Here we go. So this is first solution which we can apply in order to get rid of the ambiguity. There is yet another solution. Let me also get rid of this particular option, and again there would be an ambiguity first. Let us check that whether the ambiguity remains or not. Here we go. So there is again ambiguity. The second possible solution is we can mark a particular bean as primary, and as soon as we mark a particular bean as primary, what happens is if there are multiple beans that can be injected automatically, then always the primary bean will get priority upon others. So now we will again navigate to this beans tab and I will highlight, for example, offers 1 tab now, and I will navigate. In fact, let us make offers 2 as primary. We will scroll down, and in here we have this particular option of primary. We can make it as true, and as soon as we do this, and if we check the XML, we will add this particular attribute true, primary attribute to true, right? So this particular plugin has added this particular attribute primary equals true, which is good thing. And navigating to this user.java, and now if I execute the program, then again there is no ambiguity. Why? Because there are 2 bins which are ambiguous, but one is marked as primary. So this as the solution in order to reduce the ambiguity if there are multiple beans who can be injected automatically within other beans. Now this particular solutions of marking a bean as primary or marking a bean as ineligible for auto wiring, the solution is also applicable when we work with properties, which we're gonna see in the forthcoming lectures. I suppose I have made myself clear. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and keep coding.